water. My camera comes in and out of focus really bad. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another podcast episode. It's been a while, but we're here, and we're finally going to talk about our next couple chapters. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the last podcast. Hopefully you'll enjoy this one. Drop down below. What's your favorite lightsaber color? Or your Legends character or canon character, something. Let us know.
Say something.
Yes. All right. Who wants to go up first?
I'll go first. All right.
So do it every time.
So where we left off last time was Lorne Pavon. He got robbed, and that deal didn't go well. And he went to a bar, got drunk, and now he is in his apartment, waking up super hungover. But I guess I-5 has this ability to pretty much like cure his hangover with some weird like scale humming song type thing. So basically cures his hangover and then I-5 tells Pavon like, hey, we got some messages, and pulls up the little hologram message thing. And the first message that he plays is from Yanth the Hutt, basically saying like, hey, I thought you had a holocron you wanted to sell me. It's not polite to keep people waiting. So of course, waking up hungover, Lorne Pavon's not happy about that. The second message, though, is from Hathmon Char, saying that he was referred to Lorne as somebody who can be discreet in handling sensitive information, and wants to meet him at the Dewback Inn at 0900, not to tell anybody. Lorne looks at I-5 and is like, well, what do you think? And I-5 tells him, look, we have like 17 Republic Desa credits in the bank, and whatever change fell into the sleeping pad. The rent is due in a week. He thinks that they should go talk to the Nemoidian. So that's where we're at with Lorne Pavon. Maui Lin, we see a little bit more from her, but honestly not much. She is looking for the Nemoidian. She searched 4 restaurants, got a tip from a female Nemoidian that there is one other bar that Nemoidians like to go drink their agaric ale at. And so she decides to go look there. We'll hear more about her later.
Did you say agaric, like Agaric?
I see. Yeah, agaric ale. I don't know much about agaric ale, but I know the Nemoidians love agaric ale.
Okay.
Almost like garlic.
So I kind of like the implication here because, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is really funny. You know the little fairy tale storybook mushrooms that like fairies are always sitting on top of? They got the fat white stalk and the big red tip with the white little clumps all over the
classic
top.
Like magic mushroom looking thing.
That's fly algaric is the name of it. Agaric.
Okay.
And it's really super fucking poisonous. Like, as it turns out, fairy tale books and shit that you're showing to kids, that's teaching them how to commit suicide. Because, like, that is not a magic tripping, having fun seeing fairies mushroom. That is a lying down in the dirt forever mushroom. So, like, I'm kind of digging the nod here. Like, apparently Nemoidians drink poisonous mushroom beer.
Yeah, that's a good catch. I had no idea. I thought it was just a made-up word. Okay, so yeah, Maui Lin gets the tip to go check out another bar. She's gonna go do that, and then now we are back to Darth Maul. He basically is on the hunt for. Where we left off with him, he was talking to that one bartender, asking about looking for a Nemoidian, and so now we have Darth Maul. He gets the tip about Lorne Pavon and the droid is with I-5. So he easily finds Lorne's apartment, watches Lorne and I-5 leave the apartment as they're going to the Dewback Inn to go meet the Nemoidian, Hathmon Char. But as he's following him, as Darth Maul is following Lorne and I-5, he starts to get a little frustrated. He thinks to himself, this is not where you were trained for. These are not prey worthy of your abilities. Because, Darth Maul, he trained to basically find and kill Jedi, not just normal paper pushers like Lorne Pavon. he suppresses these thoughts because he's given this mission by Sidious, and Maul's dedicated to Sidious.
Make Daddy happy.
Yeah, gotta make Daddy happy. Maul's following them. He watches Lorne and I-5 go into the do back in, and this is where Darth Maul's starting to get a little excited. Now, one thing that's cool about Darth Maul is he has such perfect control over his nervous system, but he can feel his heart beginning to race as they're going into the tavern because he knows shit's about to go down, and that's what makes him really excited. Now back to Lorne Pavon. He enters the do back in, kind of does a quick scan of everything inside. He sees a couple of characters that I wanted to note, which was a Devaronian with one horn missing, a piebald Wookiee with half its hair singed off, and a Sakian with stitches and thick scars over his head. So it's a really bad area in a bad part of town.
I want to see a hairless Wookiee.
I was gonna say that's a whole bunch of people that have really bad fucking luck, is what that sounds like.
Yeah, it is a basket of deplorables, so to speak. Let's see. Now, Lorne, he notices the patrons looking at I-5 weird, and of course, there's a no droids allowed sign in the bar. Tells I-5 to go outside. He waits back outside. Lorne's still looking around. Then he sees the Nemoidian sitting in the corner, looking very uncomfortable, and starts walking towards him. But as he starts walking toward him, Lorne Pavon notices the door behind him open and sees a dark cloaked figure enter. So now we know that's Darth Maul walking into the bar as well. And here's what tripped me out when I was reading this: is it's like less than a minute time from when Lorne Pavon tells I-5 to wait outside and Darth Maul walks in. Like, I wonder what was I-5's reaction to seeing, this badass looking dude just walk right in.
He's just,
did he make any note of it or anything?
He's sitting outside. He sees him walking up. He's just, no. Just looking the other way. But nope.
Yeah. And, in the book, they didn't say like, he caught his attention or anything. They didn't make any note of I-5 seeing Darth Maul or not, so we don't know if we saw him or not.
And I feel like I-5 probably has like some type of like little like beeper thing he could press, and it would notify him in case like trouble's coming or something, like if he's in the bar. I'd imagine he has something kind of like that.
A honk twice.
Yeah, basically
we'll see somebody.
The homie passing the block a couple times.
Right? That's like a phone in Star Wars. Like, that's your I gotta talk to somebody thing. So you'd hope that his personal droid would have his number.
It'll go beep 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 or whatever twice on his wrist or his belt, I imagine.
It's like the little one that Luke had, the little chapstick tube he talked into. My personal comm link.
Yeah, so Lorne walks in, he notices Darth Maul behind him, and kind of got weird vibes from Darth Maul, but then again, look at everybody else in the bar, so he didn't really think much of it. Darth Maul walks in, he sits in the corner. Lorne starts to, he sees Hathmon Char, walks towards him, but then as he gets close, he gets grabbed by both arms by a Trandoshan, which is Hathmon Char's bodyguard, basically. And when I read this part, I thought it was interesting because, like, Lorne, he tries to get away from him, but can't. He's just, held like a child, basically. And it's interesting, because here, our normal everyday lives, we're humans. We are the top. Nothing can really attack us except for, like, lions and bears and stuff, but that's rare. But in Star Wars, it's like there's many other species out there that just, are way stronger and just look at us as just like, a bag of bones and guts, or nothing, Monchar commands the Trandoshan to release Lorne. He lets him go. Lorne sits down. They start talking about business. Meanwhile, Darth Maul sitting in the corner. He's, getting looks from everybody, kind of looking at, this guy in a big black robe, red and black face. But anytime strangers look at him or start to pay attention to him, he just uses the Force to, divert their attention elsewhere. Maul's sitting there. He's watching Hathmon Char and Lorne Pavon. He sees his prey and is itching to go cut his head off, but realizes that he would also have to kill the Trandoshan and Lorne. But he doesn't want to do that because he doesn't want to deal with killing 3 people in a bar in plain sight, And then on top of that, he can't just go up and kill him because he needs to find out if Hathmon Char has told anybody else about the plans. So now we pause there. We go back to Maui Lin. It's, again, not much has happened with Maui Lin. She's just walking around Coruscant. She talked to one Nemoidian lady and then is just back to walking again. Basically, this part of this chapter is just saying that she's not afraid to walk alone at night in the bad areas of Coruscant because she's heavily armed and carries herself well. And also, the chapter just reiterated that she's very good at her job. So yeah, not much from Maui Lin again. Back to Darsha Asant. Remember, she just got her ass kicked by that street gang. Tried to go with the Ascension gun with... oh no, this is not good because I forgot his name. Ulth. Ulth. She's with Ulth. They're going up the side of the building. They got attacked by the Hawk Bats. He, got pecked. He got dropped. She's went all to like the 10th floor, whatever. Swung into the building. That's where we left off with her last time. She ends up going up several flights of stairs, finds a pharmacy on the very first populated level that she got to. She cleans herself up, gathers herself, sits on a bench, thinks of what she's going to do next. She's sitting there kind of just defeated. She was like a Jedi in training, sent on a mission, and then just failed in the worst possible way that she could.
Whiffle!
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Hawk Bats, they're picking Ulth clean on the street right now. She lost her speeder, her comm link's destroyed, and yeah, failed everything. She's sitting there thinking on the bench, thinking that she'll never be a Jedi Knight. She should just find a public comm station and call the Jedi Temple to come rescue her, so she could be escorted back as if she were a child. Now she's sitting there thinking with that option, and she pictures that taking place and decides like, no, she failed. She can get back there herself and tell them. She's going to be very proud to tell them that she failed all on her own. Yeah. So it's weird because the chapter kind of led off with like, building her up with like this sense of pride, but it's like just to go say, yeah, I failed. I mean, I guess, but that's where it left off with her. With trying to get back. Now we're back to Lorn Pavan and Hathmon Char. Monchar tells Lorn Pavan that he has all the evidence that of the pending embargo of Naboo and the fact that it's a Sith Lord behind all those plans recorded to a holocron. Monchar tells him it's close by and he wants 500,000 Republic credits for it. And here I kind of got some like Han Solo vibes going, because Monchar says he wants 500,000 credits for it. Lorne scoffs and sarcastically says like, "Oh, you got change for 1 million cred note?" And Monchar, he's not impressed with the joke, because he's a cowardly Nemoidian. He wants to get rid of this information, get the money, and just go. Lauren tries to barter, but Hathmon Char, he's stuck on the 500,000. Lauren agrees to it, but of course he just doesn't have the 500,000. So Monchar gives him 1 hour to meet him with the money. Lauren asks for more time, doesn't get it. So Lauren, he leaves, explains to the situation to I-5, and here's where it's really interesting. To get the money, they basically make a plan to commit carefully timed bank fraud, where I-5 is going to hack into the data line for the banks and basically transfer over the 500,000 to a
like a floppy disk kind of thing?
A credit chip, basically, like a crypto wallet. They have to time it perfectly so that way the little audit droids at the bank don't catch it and reverse it. So the plan is essentially for I-5 to hack it as they're handing over the credit chip to Hathmon Char to see and verify that there's 500,000 on it in the split, and hopefully that they don't get caught and it gets reversed in that split second amount of time. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they're able to pull that off. So that's the plan that they come up with. Lauren little side quest thing as they're walking down the street discussing the plan. A gibbon bumps into Lorne, says excuse me, but then Lorne grabs the gibbon, takes the wallet that was just stolen from him, and just pushes him away.
No, that's mine.
Yeah, we kind of get a little bit of background information about Lorne. I guess he has a son named Jax, because they're trying to him and Lorne and I5 are talking about basically counting their eggs before they hatch on what they're going to do with all this money once they get it. And he realizes that, if they have to leave Coruscant, he's not going to see his son again. But Lorne pushes that emotion away, says, so what? That will never happen. And then they go on to search for the data port so they can start that bank fraud.
Bank fraud.
Yeah. Yeah, so I kind of blew through that really fast, but
No,
that was
pretty good.
Meticulously organized. Like, I hope the next time I A, have my book, and B, on it, like, do my shit like that. Like, that was bullet point by bullet point, like, what order we're going in. I'm sure you didn't read those chapters in that order, but, like, I like how you staggered everything so that it flowed the same way and made sense. Like, that was good.
It's funny that you said that, because, like, that is the exact order in the book that it went through. And as I was going through everything, I was like, man, I really should have just combined Maui Lynn's parts and just made that just real quick and kind of had it organized to where as Lorne and I5 are going into the bar and Darth Maul gets introduced, and kind of just stuck with that rather than going from there to Maui Lynn for nothing, then to go back and then to go Maui Lynn for nothing. But
they break it up in the book, yeah, and you're like, damn it, I should have reorganized.
Yeah, and also, we're 6 weeks behind at least from the last time we did this one. So, I took all these notes, a month and a half ago. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's getting interesting, because now we're getting, all the main players in this same area. They're all pretty much in the Dewback Inn right now. I think Maui Lynn's close behind. I don't know where Darsha Asant is as far as how close she is to all this going on, or how she's going to get involved with Lorne or Darth Maul or Maui. So we'll see.
The name of the bar, Dewback Inn, it sounds like a Lord of the Rings, little pub for like in Hobbiton.
The Prancing Pony.
Dewback Inn.
The Dewback Inn. I guess like in the Mandalorian, there's that one dude that says like, "Oh, I have spoken," and he's got those little.
That's a Kerbachak, not a Dewback.
Oh, is that not a Dewback? Man,
No,
I looked at a picture. I was like, "Oh, I've seen those before."
Dewbacks are in the before they cut out David Prowse and Alec Guinness and reinserted fucking new Obi-Wan and Hayden Christensen, but after they started fucking with the original Star Wars and like putting in deleted scenes and hand walking around Jabba and all that, there's a midline run right before they take out Alec and David Prowse and put in Hayden Christensen and what's his fucking name, the actor
Ewan
who plays
McGregor.
Obi-Wan. Ewan McGregor. Before they swap them over, there's this one edit they put out that has a couple of deleted scenes with Jabba coming to Tatooine into Mos Eisley to talk to Han, and a couple other scenes in Mos Eisley. And one of them is when Obi-Wan and Luke are coming in on the land speeder and they get stopped by these are not the droids you're looking for guy. There's a stormtrooper on a dewback, literally, like just in the background of the scene, just kind of looking around.
Yeah.
They're like scaled elephants that don't have a trunk or horns. Like they're just kind of these weird giant
sand
fucking
lizards.
Okay, yeah, because when I Googled what a dewback was, I saw the picture, and I just watched The Mandalorian recently too, but I thought it was the same one that little monkey guy was riding on.
No, but they're close. It's a size difference. It's like the thing that guy was riding on is basically the front legs and head of a dewback, and like that's it. But a dewback is like long and four-legged and has a big fucking tail, so like it's like they kind of cut it in half.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to find there we go. Incoming to the chat now.
Okay, yeah.
That's a dewback. And I only know that because I was like 8 when they started doing those edits on Star Wars, and a new toy came out that was the Imperial Sand Trooper with a dewback, and I was, oh my god.
My favorite Star Wars collection thing I have.
Yeah.
Hold on. Show you.
Hoarding.
So I've got the special edition original trilogy.
Oh
The
yeah.
gold box.
The gold box.
Nice. I have
The
gold, copper, and silver.
other special edition, the silver.
We're getting there.
And then
Nice.
I think these are like the first releases, where they're in the different colors.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, this one's beat up like all this shit, but I got it for like $2.
Dude, that's dope as fuck.
And
That's awesome.
I think I like this one more just because of like the art cover.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much cooler than just black with words and the name on the
Yeah.
front.
Star Wars in gold. Yeah, we all know. All righty. Well, thank you, Joe. That was
My
very,
pleasure.
very well done.
Indubitably.
Now, Zachariah, do you wish or do I wish?
Are you ready? Or I mean, I can go next if you want.
Mine's going to take like half the time Joe's did, and I don't really have a lot to add to where I was previously because, again, I've lost my book.
I've lost my book.
You didn't use the Force to find it?
No, I told you, man. 6 weeks too long. I've lost the touch. No. So I guess I'll go because mine is very quick. I only got like 2 chapters in from where I was, and not a lot happens in those 2 chapters. I believe that I left Jaina and Leia and what's his name? What's her name? Sorry, Luke's
Mara?
wife. Mara. All coming back from Ramamul and Osarian together. And their chapter is the one that gets the most going. It's very introspective and spends most of its time with Leia, like in her head, because it's Jaina's flying the Jade Saber. Mara has decided to take a nap on the way back because this is like an 8-hour flight or something. So like it's going to be most of a day, but then they'll be back at Coruscant. And she's infected with the, oh God, what are they called? The rule spores or something?
Jedi killing virus.
Exactly. This crazy genetically engineered bacteria that like only attacks Force users and super kills the shit out of you. And they've been infecting people with it. And a whole bunch of Jedi have died mysteriously. And now Mara has it. And Mara, being the stone cold pimp that she is literally using her Force powers on a cellular level to just stop the fucking disease. Like, she's not getting better, but she's not getting worse. She's just holding. And that is apparently, like, she is using all of her Force power to do that. So she's not much of a Jedi anymore, but she is still her, and she's still smart. She knows all the ins and outs of the Empire and a bunch of criminal syndicates, so she's still useful. She's gone off to take a nap because she's tired from fighting the Force disease. Leia's by herself and spends the... Again, this was one of the things I don't think R.A. Salvatore was super comfortable with a lot of the female characters he did not create and then being told to write for them because, like, his characterizations of Leia are just bad. Like, the Leia that we're presented with, that who she becomes, and the great Jedi Knight, and she's the fucking leader of the Republic 5 times over, and then she becomes a senator, and then she's a diplomat, and yada yada yada, and she's always really good in a crunch and knows the right thing to say. That is not the version of Leia we are getting here from Mr. Salvatore. We are getting a much more inwardly self-focused version of her. So, like, her part of this chapter is basically being kind of jelly of Mara Jade and Jaina because she had to give up so much of Jaina's childhood to go lead the Republic for a while and then become a diplomat. And so it was one of those, like, having a doctor for a parent. You know that's your mom. You see her all the time. She's around. You know she loves her. But, like, yeah, she's probably gone. She didn't make your piano recital. She's not coming to your Jedi lightsaber defense practice. Like, basically not there. And this version of Leia is kind of sad about that and getting a little bit jealous because Jaina is like in her 20s now and becoming a solidified adult woman and learning how to be a Jedi Knight. And she's learning from Mara. And Mara is giving her advice on what to do with, this problematic people that the Jedi are dealing with, and also giving her advice on what to do with that cute boy down the hall that she's got a crush on. So Leia's getting kind of like, did I basically give up my kid's life so that I could go babysit the rest of the universe? I'm really sad that I didn't get to see her grow up. I'm really sad that I'm not getting to be like mom talking to her about boys and shit. And then she kind of gets her shit like back under control and has a moment of like, look, we're all adults here. We all have shit we have to do. My kids are Jedi. They're not just kids. Like, they would have things between me and them, even if I had nothing between me and them. So I need to kind of let that go and just accept that we love each other and we're happy. And that I'm super fucking happy that the lady teaching my daughter is my sister-in-law because she's a badass. So she kind of gets her shit together and goes to see Jaina. And spends like 10, 15 minutes talking with Jaina, basically being like, hey, are you mad at me that I was never around and that I'm kind of more of like your boss than your mom? And Jaina's like, no, I got it. And we're cool. And like, you're my mom, so it's all good. And they put that to bed and then kind of start talking about Mara. Mara's sick. She's not around a lot. She's got to devote a lot of her time to fighting this shit off. We're all really worried about her. And basically that part is just like, Leia being a boomer parent and being like, oh my God, don't talk to your aunt about her cancer diagnosis. And fucking her daughter being like, yeah, no shit. I didn't need you to come like explain that to me. I understand how to have like couth and tact. So they're kind of talking about that. And then Leia decides that she needs to go check on Mara because Mara doesn't do this whole like pity me, feel bad for me, but still like is human and is dealing with a death sentence. So she goes off to go check on Mara. She gets just outside Mara's door and she hears Mara crying and knows that Mara is one of those people that Mara doesn't cry. It's never happened, not once. Don't talk about it. Don't ask questions. Just like move on. So she gives it a second and then kind of knocks on the door like she didn't hear anything and is like, hey Mara, can I come in? And Mara's like, yeah, it's great, come on in, we're good. And so she comes in and they talk and Leia tries to be like, don't give up, nobody's giving up on you, we're all still here. And Mara comes back not rudely but very firmly with a like, yeah, that's great and nobody fucking asked you. So Leia kind of like, oh, I overstepped. I made her feel weak. She's mad. I'll just kind of fuck off and give her some space and like gets up to leave. And Mara's like, nah, fuck that. I'm not a wuss and I'm not going to sit back here and cry and feel bad for myself. We got shit to do and I'm going to go land my ship. And they walk out and go get on the bridge together. And then we transfer over to the boys, which is Luke, Jason, Anakin, Solo, Han, and Chewie. And Han and Chewie and Anakin flew Jason and Luke back to Coruscant so that Luke, Grand Master of the Jedi Order, could go talk to the senators and basically console them because a lot of the senators are doing shady illegal shit on the side with a bunch of small-time criminal syndicates making a bunch of money. And since we just destroyed the Empire and the Jedi are back and have nothing to do, the Jedi are running around playing super cop and busting all these small-time criminal syndicates, and they're costing a bunch of the senators a bunch of money. So all the Senate is freaking out and being like, can't just have the fucking Jedi running around doing whatever the fuck they want. So Luke came in to kind of
corrupt people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Luke came in to kind of quietly tell them, well, actually, according to all the laws and different, like, police organizations and stuff we have in place in the galaxy, I can, because I can prove that they're committing crimes and that my Jedi are stopping them. I'm really sorry you guys don't like making or like losing money, but yeah.
They need to release the Republic Senate files.
The Epstein. But so they went and had their conversation with the senators, and Luke basically was correct in everything that he was thinking going into the meeting, but he hadn't shared all that with Jason. So when they leave, Jason's all incensed and pissed off and is like, they're fucking corrupt. They're evil. Why do we even fucking listen to them? We should just split the Jedi off from the Republic and make them their own thing so that nobody can tell the fucking Jedi what to do. And Luke basically kind of tries to lead Jason through this thought process and is like, yeah, that's cool. So what happens when we do that and then the rest of the galaxy gets pissed off at us because we arrest somebody they didn't want arrested? And walks him inevitably to and they kill all the Jedi. Like, we've done this before. Just calm down. I knew they were crooked. It's okay. None of this is actually as big a deal as you're making it out to be. I got this. And Jason just gets really like, I hate this shit. Why are we doing this? This is why I don't even want to be a Jedi anymore, is because like the Jedi are good and they do good things, but we get all these dumbass people arguing against us and trying to stop us and like hamper us. And so he and Luke are having a philosophical debate about what the role of the Jedi is. And Jason is advocating for fuck everybody else. The Jedi should be in charge. We know best. And Luke is trying to be like, yeah, some people have thought that, and we almost died a few times. So like, I'm trying to walk a middle path and maybe just work with everybody. And they get back to the hangar. Anakin, Jason's little brother, is almost old enough to be licensed to fly a starship by himself. So he's literally like out with dad doing his fucking driver's ed. And he broke the Falcon because he likes to do snap rolls and crazy shit like dad does. So dad and Uncle Chewie are making him fix the ship. He is not like his sister or his father. He fucking hates machines. He does not get this. He's like, it's a stupid fucking car. We're rich as fuck. Why can't we just buy another one? To which Chewie and Han damn near kill him. Like, he's yelling about it's just a stupid ship. Why can't we just buy another one? Like, it's not like it's that important. And Han starts to yell at him about how important the ship is and how long he's had it. And Chewie just picks him up by the scruff of the neck, reaches down, pulls his lightsaber off his belt and puts it in his jaws like, I'll bite this fucking thing in half. To which Anakin goes, okay, I get it. I understand. It's your baby. I'll fix it. So that's most of what Ben and Jason's chapter is we've already spent part of a chapter with them coming down in this philosophical debate. They show up. Oh, we got to fix the ship. The chapter we're currently in is more philosophical debate between Jason and Luke and more kind of comedy side stylings with Han and Chewie and Anakin fucking with the hyperdrive on the Falcon. And that's pretty much all that happens. I don't even know. I don't think they finished repairing it before the chapter break. So it was just one of those, they sit around and talk more about the conversations they were already having, and they don't finish any of them out. Really, the big revelation is that Luke is a little worried about Jason because Jason's getting kind of authoritarian. He doesn't like all this fucking around and having to like listen to other people and have committee meetings about stuff. He likes to just go, that's the fucking problem. That's the fucking solution. That's what I'm doing. So Luke is trying to kind of get ahead of that and be like, hey bro, we've had some family members that had that personality type and it ends in black leather, red lightsaber. So like, let's all chill out. And that's pretty much where everything stops for me is the girls are coming back to Coruscant, getting ready to land. The boys are working on the ship, and Luke is trying to make Jason understand that you're going granddad's path. So like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Excellent.
What if Chewie accidentally had turned on the lightsaber?
Oh my god.
You know, like he does, because he just grabs it. It's like, what if he accidentally pushed the button and just
right to the cheek?
Right?
Yeah.
It'd be wild. We're starting on mine, chapter 19. It's got Mara Jade, Thrawn, Card, and Dankin, which is one of Card's underlings, little helpers. So in the last chapter with Mara, she was captured by Thrawn and made a deal with him, and he gave her like 7 days or something like that to get the info for the Katana fleet. so she could give it to Thrawn so he could, take the fleet and make it his in order to spare Card from Thrawn's wrath. So this chapter, Card is standing there on a landing pad, and he sees the either way, the ship that Mara's flying on, coming in, and so he's standing there waiting. He pulls out his comm link and pages Dankin, and he says, if you see anything suspicious, Dankin replies, I don't see anything. So they're both like, okay, we're good for now, because Mora's been missing for a longer amount of time than she said she was going to originally be gone for. So it kind of made him suspicious. And when Mara finally lands the ship and she gets out, and Card says, welcome home. He says, you're a bit late. She replies with, I wound up making a little detour. And Card asked, any trouble? And then she responds with, I don't know. She murmured, and the next line is, I feel. But before she could finish, Card's comlink let out a squawk screech, like an alert, basically. And then it was jammed. And Card sees ships moving down, and then down the hallway by the exit, he sees I'm sorry. Can't read my writing. He sees movement down the hallway, so he starts opening fire down the hallway. Just hopefully it's, not just random people, but so he starts opening fire, and then out of nowhere, a violent sonic boom knocks him to the ground, and then he goes to start shooting, but before he can, a hand just reaches over him, because he's still laying down, and a hand reaches over him and grabs his gun and lifts it away. And then he turns over and he sees Mara standing over him, and she's trying to talk to him, but he can't hear because of the sonic boom, so it's just muffled and stuff. And then stormtroopers kind of grab him and take him up to his feet and kind of haul him off. And the whole time Dankin, he's a sniper, I forgot to add that. He's he's far off and he can see it all, and he's in a tree line somewhere, so he knows what's kind of going on. He didn't shoot anybody because he didn't want to draw attention to himself. And so they arrest Card, and of course she's absolutely pissed because she was given 7 days to get the information and bring it back to Thrawn. And Thrawn, being a tactician that he is, he's like, I'm not going to give you 7 days. He's like, I'm just going to let you lead me to it, and I'll get it then, and I'll do it my way. I just used you. And Mara confronts Thrawn about it in the Chimera hangar bay. She's yelling at him. Sorry, my allergies are kicking my ass.
All good, Bubba. Take a breath.
Yeah, that he promised her 7 days or 8 days or something like that to get the info. But Thrawn turns to her. He couldn't take the chance of Card not giving her the information and possibly abandoning her. So that's why he just went ahead and just basically set a little trap. This is the part I like. Mara, she tried to strangle Thrawn with the Force. It's kind of funny. It did not work out in her favor.
It did not work out in her favor.
She tries to strangle Thrawn, but before she can get a hold of him, his Nagori bodyguard basically puts her in an arm pinned and a hand locked. I don't know, some type of headlock is how they described it. I imagine they had her arm up and was like choking her out, basically.
Sounds like he got her in a full Nelson.
Something along that lines, but they worded it so weird. Mara tries with all of her strength to force choke Thrawn, but after a few minutes, she gave up.
Thrawn offers Lamari on his neck. Come on.
he started getting mad because he could feel it like tickling like a little bit, and he was like, you know, he could barely feel her like kind of choking him, and that's what pissed him off. And he's like, look, he's like, cool it, or my Nagori friend right here is gonna snap your fucking neck. He's like, I'm trying.
That shit
he's
out.
like, I'm trying not to dispose of valuable Imperial officers and valuable resources, is how he sees her.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, so I just think it's funny how she's like still trying to choke him, and he tells her he doesn't believe in. Yeah, he tells her he doesn't believe in. So she gets all pissed off, and then they leave her alone, and what was it? The Empire doesn't believe in wasting valuable resources like the old Empire. But one more outburst, and he could deliver her to Master Koboth as a gift. So basically telling her, hey, cool your shit, or I'm going to go drop you off on the planet with a psychotic Jedi Master who will probably more than likely physically or, you know, and on the Force, you know, like mentally abuse you. Yeah. Because he's psychotic. So then Thrawn threatens to interrogate Card after a few days, and then after he's been sitting in the detention block to get the info he needs about the Katana fleet. Mara agrees to work with Thrawn. He told her to go to the deck office so she can be like reassigned to where he needs her or something like that. But what he doesn't know is she has the codes to the back door of all the Imperial computers. So she goes and finds a computer and hacks it basically. And she's hoping the codes are still good and nobody's found them and deleted them since the Emperor's death. And she's trying to find in the computer where Koboth is, because she knows that Luke is there, and she's going to get Luke's help to come free Card and kill Thrawn if he ends up killing him, you know. So she's basically, as much as she hates Luke, she needs his help. And so she's hacking the computers to find Koboth, Master Koboth on Jamark. And then basically she gets in a ship after the fleet deck officer talks to her and basically gives her like where she's going to go. And she ends up just getting in a ship and dipping anyway, because she's Mara. She doesn't give a fuck. She's like, I'll do what I want. And then we end up going to chapter 20, and it's you got Luke, Joruus, and Mara. So the chapter starts with Luke waking up Master Koboth. Then Koboth stands up from walking, not waking. Walking up to Master Koboth, that makes more sense. Koboth stands up from his judgment seat and says, Jedi Skywalker, the final case of the evening is yours. Luke sits in his chair and tells Koboth he is ready to begin. So basically they're doing like they're judging the villagers on like things that have happened. And basically Koboth, he feels like basically if you're not a Jedi, you're a lesser being. You're not worth it. You don't matter, nothing like that. You're just pawns at this point. And the only way to get them to be better is by their judgment, like their guidance. Like, we're superior and we're going to tell you how you need to live to have a better life, is basically how Koboth sees these villagers on Jamark. And one of the villagers' livestock broke a fence, got into the other villagers' like berries or some kind of berry bush, destroyed a bunch of them, ate a bunch of them. And Luke's basically telling him, so what you're going to do is you're going to pay the first villager who owned the berry bushes, you're going to pay him for any damages to the bushes and for all the berries that have been eaten. And that any other other minor inconvenience, damages, or something along that lines, the village council will decide. And when he said that, Jamark, like, just stared at him, but like Luke could feel it through the Force, like the disappointment and disgust that Luke would leave that up to the village council instead of just deciding it himself. And then Luke's like, and then tomorrow morning I will go look at the fence and I will let you know what I decide on that, who's going to be fixing it, who's going to be paying for it, all that kind of stuff. And so then he tells him he's done, and then Jamark basically just I don't know why I keep saying Jamark. Joris, or Koboth, whatever you want to call him. He basically dismisses the whole room. They leave, the villagers and all that. And he kind of basically just chews Luke's ass. Basically just gets into him, like just pissing, like, why wouldn't you just reach out with the Force and rip the information from their minds, like, just see how bad the fence was and make the decision now. And why would you leave it up to the village counselors? He's like, you're superior. He's like, they're just lesser beings to us, and Luke's like, well, that seems wrong. And
well, I'm not a hateful bag of shit.
Well, and then and Master Koboth, he's like, you've never done anything like that before. And then Luke kind of remembers how he had Lando rewrite the codes to have his ship fixed ahead of schedule, even though they told him no, so that way he could end up going on his journey to Jamark, the planet that Master Koboth's on. And he's used, the Force in that way, somewhat, some kind of ways, but he's like, this situation just feels different. It feels wrong, so him and Koboth are kind of going back and forth philosophically about it. And then, like, in the mid-sentence, Koboth just stops and just staring at the sky and just quits moving, quits breathing and like blinking or anything. And Luke's like, are you all right? Like, trying to like touch him, try to reach out and with the Force into his mind to see if he's okay, but he can't read his mind. It's like there's like a strong wall. And out of nowhere, he like snaps back to reality, and he's kind of like tired, so Luke kind of like helps him, catches him, and he basically tells Luke, hey, go back to your quarters. I know you're tired. Rest for the evening. He's like, we'll discuss more tomorrow. And Luke's asking him if he's okay. He's like, do you need help getting back to your room? He's like, you just kind of like had a little episode. You just froze there, my guy. And he basically told him, he's like, I'm a Jedi Master. He says, I need no help from anybody. Basically tell him to just fuck off. So that part of the chapter ends with that. And I thought that was cool. I thought it was pretty neat. I love the Luke parts of this book, especially when he's with Joris, because Joris is just such a psycho. And it's like he hasn't shown all of his craziness yet. And it's like it feels so cool that it's building up to it. And then the chapter transitions over to Mara. So the beginning portion of her part of the chapter, I'm going to tell you, it takes place in a dream. So that way it makes sense. She's basically really far away, but she can see Luke, Vader, and the Emperor in the throne room on the Death Star, like where they have their final battle. And she's really far away, and I love how she describes the lightsabers, the ignition of a brilliant red and white in a brilliant green and white saber igniting to basically strike down the Emperor, like they teamed up against him. And she's yelling for the Emperor to basically try to help him, but then in her dream the alarms of the Death Star blowing up are going off, and then she's screaming, and they do their little slash. But before they hit the Emperor screams at her, you will kill Luke Skywalker. And then she wakes up out of her dream, and she's just, floating around in the cockpit going to Jamark. And then after that, there's not really a whole lot with her. She's just kind of like basically hovering over islands looking for Luke, and she sees one with a small village, and I can't remember, it's been a cool minute, I didn't write this little part down, but I think she spots his X-Wing or picks it up on the scanner, finds out where he is, and then there's like a storm going on, and fucking allergies. She gets ready to land, and that's pretty much where the chapter ends. Nothing too crazy, but I really love the dream sequence. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, not a whole lot in those 2 chapters. I like that Thrawn is a very a dick. I mean, he'll tell you one thing and then totally fucking backstab you if he can to get what he wants.
I liked his moment with where she was trying to force choke him when he was like, "Look, I don't believe in wasting resources, but you keep fucking around, you're gonna find out."
I just picture him like her choking him a little, and he just like slap her on the hand or something, like quit it.
Yeah, like a fucking cat, you just keep it. Stop it.
Keeps reaching for your glass to knock it over. No,
I said fucking stop it.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
It was pretty cool. I can see why Thrawn would do what he did. I mean, he's very, very tactical, and he doesn't want to take the chance of Card just dipping and leaving, because then he'll have no way of getting a hold of him unless he randomly stumbles upon him.
Thrawn is one of my all-time favorite characters because nobody on any side of any deal he's ever been on knows whether they like him or hate him, but they probably do one or maybe both, maybe even at the same fucking time, because everybody you talk to is just, I have such respect for that fucking guy. I might not like him, or he might be my fucking hero, but like I have so much respect for like how he plans and how he's always aware he's getting worked, and how that's always part of his plan is to let you think you're pulling something off on him, but he knew the whole time, and that was art. Like, everybody's so about that fucking guy, and he is so fucking brilliant. He and the Skywalkers end up being related.
How?
I think wasn't it his son marries Leia's daughter or something like that?
Yes. So the Chiss, where he is from, are all very heavily based on some like ancient Japanese ideas that were not fully understood by Western culture, but people started writing books and were like, I think I get this. And the concept of Chiss culture indoctrinates everybody in every family to understand that basically the Chiss homeworld is like Game of Thrones, the world. It's all these like great houses, and they all have political dealings with each other, but it's all about fucking each other over so that they can become like the House Prime or whatever. So part of Chiss culture is every Chiss family has what they call the shadow child, because every Chiss family has enough enemies that at some point one of them might get enough power to come wipe out your entire bloodline, like literally all of them to the fucking ground, and raise everything you own so that you'll never be a problem again. So all Chiss families have what they call the shadow child, and the shadow child is your child who is your firstborn or whatever, and you disown him. Like, immediately upon birth, just kick his ass out into the fucking wilderness, and only one person in the entire universe, like, knows that he's actually related to you and is your child, and otherwise, you never interact with him again, never fucking talk to him, nothing, but you have everything in your, like, power base and in your family set up, coded to him. So that if you fucking die and all your kids get killed off, like the ones that you're willing to accept in public as your kids and stuff get killed off, he'll wake up one day and that one person that knows will walk in and be like, oh, okay, so you're actually this guy's kid. Here's all your money. Here's your house army. Here's all your tactics and stuff. These are the guys that wiped out your family. Go get them. So Thrawn's family's
He's like a backup plan.
shadow. Yeah,
The lone
Thrawn's family's shadow child is a guy named Jagged Fell. And he's human because Thrawn always saw the like use in having other people and like not buying into like, people think Wookiees are fucking stupid because they're giant and they speak Sheerwook, and Thrawn's going, actually, they're very brilliant, they're amazing musicians, and they have awesome poetry. Because he doesn't look at things and go, you make a weird noise I don't understand and you're bigger than me, you must be a fucking stupid animal. He actually pays attention and goes like, oh, you guys are fucking brilliant, and you let everybody think you're stupid animals so you can get one up on them. So he came across I want to say it was like a Republic fighter pilot or something that had crashed on the Chiss homeworld way back in the day before anybody even knew who they were, where their planet was, or was in contact with them. And I think she was pregnant or some shit. Anyway, she dies and ends up leaving a kid behind, and Thrawn's family takes it in, and that becomes Roan Fell, or Jagged Fell. And he gets kicked off because he's the shadow child. He's the first child the Thrawn family came across, so they set everything up, and then Thrawn runs off and does all this Thrawn shit and has like 30 books written about him and restarts the Empire and a bunch of other shit. And like 30 years after that, like after Thrawn is no longer a fucking problem, nobody even thinks about him anymore, this fucking dude named Jagged Fell shows up from the Chiss homeworld leading a Chiss army and is like, all right, so who are the Skywalkers? Because they fucked up my dad and I've got some bones to settle. And all this shit shakes out and ends up, he meets Jaina. And is just like, holy shit, it's a chick that could kick my ass in every possible way. I'm in love. And she meets this guy and is like, he drives my dad insane, but he's a good guy. I'm in love. So they got fucking married. They end up starting a whole new government. They call it the Empire, but it's not like our empire. It's like the Empire and the Jedi got together and had a baby. And that empire is ruled by a guy named Roan Fell, who is Jagged Fell and Jaina Solo's grandson. And there's a whole comic series about that. It's called Legacy. You should go check it out. It's super fucking cool.
Didn't Thrawn know who Vader was?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Knew who he was.
He served with Anakin before in the Republic. And like he knew, because of like how Anakin did his like battles and shit, that
I've seen
Vader
that
had the
before.
same shit. And he never mentioned once to Vader he knew who he was, because he knew he'd kill him. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not dumb enough to want to die.
But he was one of the few who knew Vader was Anakin, but never said anything, which I thought was cool, because Thrawn's just such a cool character. And I really hope they do well with him now that they've brought him into live action. Because I think they did really well with him in the first season of Ahsoka. And, what was it? Star Wars Rebels, the animated series. He was pretty good.
I don't know. He always struck, like the way that he's written out, the actor they picked for him.
You know,
it's one of the few.
That's Mad Mikkelsen's brother.
Yeah. No,
so
like, okay, so
you got him in Rogue One fighting against the Empire, and then you have his older brother who's part of the Empire. I thought that was funny.
No, like, he's an amazing actor, and he does the personality perfectly without flaw. Like, he's got that down. But this is one of the things that makes me unpopular, and I will own it right now. I read books a lot, like all of the Star Wars books. And when I've read a physical description of someone for 30 fucking years, I kind of expect you to try and match that with whoever you're going to put as the actor. And so like Thrawn in the books is really fucking tall, really fucking skinny, and in really good shape because he is made out of discipline and self-control. Like that's his whole thing. Is just that's who he is.
Ahsoka, he looked very pudgy and like
that was like, I'm not trying to talk shit on this amazing actor who is doing such a good job with the personality, but he is not in shape and he is not very tall. And so it's one of those like,
it's also one of those ones where Thrawn is a little bit older too, but it's like not by much either, because he'd be around the same time frame as in these books.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying is like, that's what makes it stand out to me so much is like Thrawn's in his 60 and still has a loose 6-pack.
My worst Star Wars crossover from animation into live action is the Grand Inquisitor. Like how they show how they should depict them in the anime or animation and stuff versus what he looks like in Kenobi. If you get the chance to look it up, they basically just, he's just a human
just gave up on him, just said, nah, fuck it.
Yeah, because he's, I don't know, it was very disappointing because it was you could tell they could have put more into the budget in the costumes and like making him look more alien than what he is. Because he just looked like a normal dude with like, you know, the little face paintings like he has. I don't know. It was very dumbed down.
No, because like in the cartoon, he's got all the jazz on his head and like the thing on the side of his head is way more pronounced and he's got all the shit like down his face and on his eyes. And I remember that when he fucking was on screen, he was just in a bald cap and had like some eyeshadow. And I was like, that's really like, maybe they're going to put the rest of it in post, you know, and make his eyes all weird.
I feel like they don't try very hard with like their alien characters. Not all of them. Some of them are pretty cool. Like the fourth brother or whatever that was on Kenobi, who was played by, I think he was the dude from Tokyo Drift who played Han. I think Han played him. I wouldn't have fucking known. He just looked like a fucking cool alien to me.
No, and I mean,
Han's name in Fast and the Furious is Han Solo.
Is it?
Yeah, but they spell soul like SEOUL, then like -OH, Han Solo. Yeah, you see it in one of like the computers in the movie.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, I had never caught that. Good pull. No, like I get that too. That's another one of those like. Star Wars has always been one of my favorites for aliens because there's this decades-old argument between Star Wars and Star Trek. Star Trek is all aliens are humans with shit glued on their face. That's it. This is what makes me an alien, that I have like nostrils up here or some shit.
You know what sucks?
Star Wars goes along the lines of like, how much of your face do I need to be able to recognize and how clearly do I have to be able to understand you? Because if you're going to be a lot of speaking parts or like a main character, yeah, you're just a dude in some face paint with like some shit glued on your forehead, so we can mostly tell that's still Harrison Ford and like care about the actor and pay attention. But if like you're an Ithorian in the background of fucking Mos Eisley Bar, we're gonna go fucking ham on this thing. We're gonna spend like 3 months building a full like animatronic fucking puppet with like moving light up eyeballs and shit and get a 10-man team behind the fucking bar to work it, because we don't need that guy to be in front of the camera for fucking like 3 hours. We just need that guy to be in the background waving his arms and fucking yelling at somebody. And like, Star Trek never even tries to do that. Star Trek is just fuck it, shit on the face, move on. Star Wars is like half and half. Yeah, that's kind of a crappy design. We mostly just wanted to be able to see the actor, or like, yeah, I couldn't even tell that was a fucking person. And at least they have some you can't tell it's a person, right? Like they try sometimes.
You know how it's like mostly it's Star Wars versus Star Trek. You know, most people forget about Stargate.
Oh my god, I loved Stargate.
Like, I thought that was such a good show. I'd watch it with my grandma or my mom.
Yeah.
You know? And then they had Stargate Atlantis. And fucking, that had Jason Momoa in it when he first started. Well, he did like other shows, but like that's what kind of blew him up a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
oh yeah.
So you guys excited for the Mando movie?
I'm gonna see it. I don't
I'm gonna
know how
watch it.
excited I am.
Well, like I was saying, it's basically just going to be a 2-hour episode with a bigger budget.
Yeah. And like that's the part I'm excited about because I've liked the show so far. Like the show by itself has been doing me just fine. Like
I like that
I
they
think-
brought Imbo into it.
Imbo.
Imbo, he's one of the bounty hunters that teams up with Boba Fett and I think Ventress in the Clone Wars. He's got the big like Mortal
Oh, is he the
Kombat
one-
hat. And he's a
Yeah,
skinny
he's the
little
one-
alien.
Oh,
He's in the
from the
newest
fucking
trailer.
Seven Samurai episode,
I think so.
the one where Anakin and Obi-Wan go to the planet full of farmers, and they're getting overrun by the Separatists, and then the farmers hired the mercenaries, and he's one of them, guy with the big giant hat.
Yeah,
and
I
he
think
uses
so.
it as a shield,
Yeah,
and he like fights with
Yeah.
kung fu and punches through. Like that
Yes.
guy's so fucking dope.
he's in the newest trailer. I got a video of it up on my channel. But
Okay, shit. That's
it's
dope.
it looks like it's gonna be really good. And then the whole what was it, Mando fighting Jabba's son in the arena felt
Ooh.
very much like Star Wars Bounty Hunter at the beginning, where you're Jango
Yes.
Fett fighting the fucking the little rhino looking beast
Yeah.
in the arena. That's what it gave me vibes of.
Oh my god, I can't believe
It
you
looks-
said that name.
It looks pretty cool.
Because fucking yes, that's just. I remember that game. I was telling Joe about that. That's one of the games where all the Orabesh in the background, they actually translated it. So
Mhm.
like all the signs on bars and posters and shit like that when you're running around Coruscant and all the other cities and stuff,
there's a
like they
cheat
say
code.
things.
There's a cheat code in one scene or something like that in Orabesh.
Yeah.
That you can actually put
Yeah.
into the game.
Yeah. So like I love that fucking game. That took me back. Good call. Good call.
I recently just played Commandos for the first time.
I saw you fire that up a couple nights ago, and I was like, yeah, that's
I
a
just
good
finished
pick.
recording it, so I gotta finish editing the last 2 parts and then upload them. Then I'll have all 4 parts out eventually. Joe, you're just very quiet. What Star Wars stuff are you excited about?
Oh, the Maul series. I'm more of a series guy than a movie guy.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, man, the movie's cool. I'm down for all content, but I mean, I would much rather have 8 to 12 episodes rather than a movie.
Yeah, I think
What
it's.
about
I think it's
9
supposed
to
to be.
16 movies.
A what?
What about 9 to 16 movies?
That I'm all for it.
I hope that the Mall show. I think it's only 8 episodes, right? I believe so.
8
Like
or 10.
six to somewhere 6 to 10, somewhere around there. I hope
Yeah.
each episode is at least an hour long, because I mean that would give you more.
Yeah, were they
I
gonna do a
don't
half-hour
want just
series
20
order?
minutes. I don't want 20 minutes for
Yeah.
6 episodes and then have to wait 2 years to get some more info. I mean, if they're an
That's-
hour long and 10 minutes 10-15 minutes are end credit, I'm cool with that. At least 45 minutes should be standard nowadays for like a TV show.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is if you're gonna go the streamium format, where you're only gonna have 6 to 10 episodes a season, and it's gonna take you a full year to make a season like it used to on normal television. I think the only reason older formats of television ran like they did is because, yeah, you're giving me only half an hour, but you're giving me 26 episodes.
Yeah.
So, like, you're going to do one almost like half the year is going to be your show. And then you're going to take half the year off to make the next season of your show. And, like, okay, cool. I was fine with that. That's fine with it only being 30 minutes. But if you're going to make 6 to 10 episodes and that's it, no matter what your budget is, and then I'm still going to have to wait a fucking year for the next season, those had better, at the very least, be an hour long. At the least. If you're only going to give me 8 episodes, because I'm a movie guy, I'd honest to God prefer that they were more like an hour and a half a piece. Give me like a short fucking film per episode, because you have more content than you're letting on. Like with the whole superhero thing, Daredevil. With Daredevil, Netflix brought him out and they were staying tight about it. They were going, here, we're only going to do 10 episodes, but they're 45 minutes apiece, and we stay like fucking clockwork. We will bang out a season every fucking year. It will not be a problem.
It was like the same way with Breaking Bad, Walking Dead, shows like that, where there were 12 to 16 episodes and they were like an hour long apiece. Instead of like, Friends or whatever, where you got 30 episodes in one season and they're 25 minutes long.
Exactly, because if your show's 25 minutes long, what I'm actually going to be watching is like 19 to 21 minutes, because you have opening credits, closing credits, and commercials, and you got to squeeze that into the same half hour. So I'm not getting like roughly a half hour of fucking television. That's why, like, when you take all those old shows that we were just talking about, like Walking Dead and stuff, if you look at the scheduling, like according to Nielsen and everything, that's an hour long show. Because you got opening credits, closing credits, all the commercials in between. So you're going to have about 45 minutes of actual playtime, and then everything else is going to get eaten out of that. And we're going to say it's an hour. I'm a realist. You're not giving me an hour worth of content. So, like, when you were, it clinched my asshole when you guys were talking about the Darth Maul show and you brought up and you were like, I hope they make it an hour. I was like, oh my God, were they considering making it only half an hour an episode? That's like, that would be so fucked up.
I believe it is. I think they're only like 35, 40-minute episodes, but I think they're releasing them in like pairs, like episode 1 and 2, episode 3 and 4 this week. I think so. That's how the schedule is.
I don't like this. That's weird.
I hope it's good. It looks really good from the trailer. I like when Maul took all those stormtroopers out when he threw the saber. He just fucking was chopping them.
It looks like it's going to be pretty dark.
Oh yeah, I really hope it is. Like, I hope it's not super kiddie like Rebels was for like the first few seasons.
No, yeah, that threw me because it came right off the heels of fucking Clone Wars, and Clone Wars had just started getting, like, the last episode of Clone Wars, don't tell me you didn't fucking cry. I will call you a liar to your fucking face. And then
Order 66,
if you're watching it on TV or whatever, it's like that last episode of fucking Clone Wars and then the first episode of Rebels, and you're like, did I suddenly become 8? Like, what the fuck?
Well, it's Disney. They always want to hit the younger kids.
Track your market, Disney. Track your market.
Yeah. Shoot. Well, anybody else got anything else?
It was really fun to do this with you guys again. That's the only thing I got to add.
Yes. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, we got to try to be a little bit more punctual. I know on my part, having the 2 kids, it's almost impossible to find time for anything, but
like I said, I'm always down when you guys are, and it could be in the middle of the week or something, unless it's like a gym night. But other than that, I'm usually down anytime.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is when he says he's too busy, I'm supposed to go over there and kick his ass until he says yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay, cool. I can do that. Just tell Candace, because I don't want her whooping my ass like it's her job when I show up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You guys want to end it here?
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you guys for watching the podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and share. Drop down in the comments what's your favorite show, movie. Doesn't even have to be Star Wars. I mean, just drop something down in the comments and start a conversation. See you guys in the next video. Peace.
Peace.